Can everyone hear me? Hello, hello.
I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Okay. Sorry for lateness. Just there's a lot happening on my end. We'll stop. Just give me like 10 minutes. We'll start by 15. Let's just quickly sort some things out, and I'll be back. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so how has everyone been? Yeah, before we start, let me just know. How's your day going?
Fine. Yes.
Okay, I've seen. Sorry, how can I pronounce your name? Don't want to kind of get
It's
Is it
Shafa. Yeah, Shafa.
Sorry,
Shafa.
Safa. Okay, Safa. Okay, all right. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, Ogechukwu, Ntene, Marvelous. Yeah. How's your day been? How's your week been? How have you been since our last class? Learned anything new? Just share with us. Let me know. Hello, hello. Let me sure I know the real person talking here. Actually, currently I'm opening my notes. Just give me a okay. So I think yeah, so Ogechukwu, I've not heard from you. Hello.
What was the question?
I said, how's your week been? The day been? Can you share with us? Basically, how has it been since the last class?
Oh, my week has been fine. And every that things have been fine.
That's good. All right. Sorry, who spoke just now?
Okay.
Okay, Chukwu. Okay. All right. Then Internet and Marvelous.
Good afternoon, sir. I've been fine as well. Everything has been fine as well.
All right. So for my last class, we had I know there was like an assignment or some work to do. So can anyone just brush us through what we discussed and then the assignments happened last week? Like, can you brush us through what you learned from last week? Any key things that we learned, then we could discuss on the assignment, then we'll move on to the questions.
Okay, from the last class. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. We talked about what a product is. That is something that satisfies the desire of a customer or a consumer. Then if we also talked about who a product manager is, that he's a leader, he's a communicator, he's a problem solver.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, who else again can tell us about what we learned last week? Fatima, Marvelous, Sene. Safa, I don't know. Were you here last week?
No, sorry, I missed class last week.
Oh, okay. No problem. We'll just do a quick overview. But yeah, the people that were here, Fatima, Sene, Marvelous, give us like.
Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, my network has been bad. Okay, last week, I think we talked about who a product manager is and then what a product is. And then we also talked about the soft skills and the hard skills that a product manager needs. So, and
Okay.
the soft skills, we talked about critical thinking, problem solving, and time management. Yes, and then for the hard skills, we had conducting market research and I think knowledge of user experience practices. Yes, I think
All right.
that's what I could take down. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So, okay. So, let's see. Let me open my. I have some identity. Okay. So this was the class from last week. Can you see my screen? Let me even be sure.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just do like a quick. The class for today will be quite quick, so that because I have some things to do in the background, but I'll make sure that we brush through everything and everyone understands. I'll also share the notes. Sorry, I haven't shared the notes. I've been refining them and the resources. I'll share them before all the notes I have before next week's class. So we'll have a more productive class next week. And I'll also share the one I'll teach next week before the class so that you can go through them before the class. So we can do more of practicals than just talking. So for the people that were not here last week, I'll just quickly brush through them, share the notes to you so you can read it through it in your own time. So yeah, intro to product management. First thing we discussed. First of all, was what is a product? We said, yeah, a product is an object or a system or anything at all that solves a problem that anybody has. So if I have issues with communicating with my friend that's abroad, if I have issues with sending money to my friends that's abroad, if I have issues with getting to a particular location, if I have issues with anything at all, cooking, any problem at all, cooking, cleaning, anything, and there is something that solves that problem, that we call that thing a product, basically. Then we now said, okay, so who is the product manager? Now that we know what a product, ask, okay, who's the product manager? I would say the product manager is a person who identifies the customer and that's the problem that I'm facing or we're facing, and the larger business objectives a product or feature will fulfill, articulates what success looks like for that product, then rallies a team to turn that vision into a reality. So just to break it down in more simple terms, a product manager is involved in finding out, okay, what problem is this person actually facing, right? So we say, okay, Fatima has a problem. Maybe she's trying to call her friend, but maybe the network is having issues, one or two things or the other. So you're not like, okay, so this is the problem she has. Good. She has issues with contacting her friend. Then when I say, okay, what is success like in solving this problem? Success is basically, okay, Fatima is able to call her friend. That's a success. She's able to communicate with her friend. Then now you're saying, okay, how can I build this product? You will now rally a team that knows how to build products. Maybe your software developer, your designer, those kind of people. You bring them together and you work on the product. Then we said some of the key traits of a product manager. A product manager is a leader, problem solver, a communicator, and a driver. Then we also discussed here what is product management. Yeah, why do we need products to be managed, and what is product management? So we discussed last week that 95% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. And one of the major reasons, it's not the only reason, right? But one of the major reasons is because they have a bad product. A bad product is basically a product that doesn't actually solve the user's problems or is not built properly. You know, there was a phrase we used last time. I don't know who can remember it before I move forward. There was a phrase we discussed about that. Apart from just knowing what to build, there was another thing. Who can remember that phrase we used last week?
Building the right products and building it right. Building the products right.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. Okay, so if anyone's talking, because I can't really see who's talking, just introduce yourself. I may not remember you by like your voice, but just introduce yourself, then answer the question. Yeah, but thank you. Thank you again. Yes. So I think, where do we even put that? Yeah. So it's not just about building the right product, but also building the products right. So if a product can fail because one, you didn't build the right product. Someone is asking for a product that will help him call his friend that is in another country, and you went to build a product that helps him call his friend in the same country. That doesn't work for you. That's not the product I want. So obviously, I'm not going to patronize that product. And at the same time, building the product right. Is your product actually able to solve that problem? Does the product have the capacity to solve that problem? That's what we mean by building the products right. So let's go back to what product management is. Now we know what a product manager does. Now, product management is the process of planning, developing, launching, and managing the products. So if you notice here, I don't have my mouse today, so I can't really point But I'll just use this. That is it. I'm trying to breeze through this because we already covered it. So if you look at this picture here, hope you can see my fake mouse. But yeah, it's a life cycle. So we move from development. Sorry, we move from research first to research. Here, where you see research, we move from research to marketing, support to customers, development, sales. Like all of these areas are coming in that involve product management. Then we said that a product manager is not a project manager. No, a project manager deals with the entire scope of the project, while the product manager is involved with the product itself. A product manager is not an engineer. No, a product manager is not the one that will actually build the product. He's not the one that's going to put his hands into building it. Product manager is basically focused on the planning, on understanding what the product is about, and leading people that are going to build the product. And the product manager is not the CEO. Product manager is mostly focused on the product and not the entire business or company. So then we discussed about soft skills and hard skills of product managers. Some soft skills, we said critical thinking, analytical skills, leadership, problem solving, time management, and communication skills. Then hard skills, we said understanding of web development, writing technical specs and requirements, conducting market research, knowledge of user experience and best practices. I'm really sorry I'm rushing this because we have an hour note and today we might not be able to go through the full 2 hours. So we need to still cover that second note because I want us to be more practical for the second note. Really going to need that. Then yeah, the assignments and taken was to research and list the product development stages. Then this second assignment, we did it in the class during last week, but I'll just do it again today for people that just came. So Safa, I believe. See here. Yeah, Safa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. So background is again, but is there any, can you think of a product that you use in your day-to-day life? Something that solves any problem that you're currently facing?
Well, let me give you an example of a product. Maybe let's say soap.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Okay, so why do you like soap?
Because it's actually a necessity. So you need soap to bath, to be clean.
True, very true. Then what problem is this solving for you?
Hygiene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then how do you think soap can be better?
And what?
I said, how do you think it's
Hello?
Can you hear me? I said, how do you think that product, how do you think soap can be better as a product?
Okay, how do you think? Okay, I actually didn't hear what you said. Sorry. How do I think soap can do what?
Can be better. How can it solve more of your problem?
Okay. Yes, I think if they improve the low quality soaps, if they improve them, and then I think every soap should have antiseptic to clean bacteria. Yeah, because that's one of the most important uses of soaps to clean bacteria.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Shafa. So that was like last week's revision. Really sorry we rushed, but because of time. But yeah, based on the assignments here, people that were here last week. So tell us what from your research on the different product development stages, what can you tell me about it? Can someone unmute their mics and tell me while I'm opening the next note?
Okay, hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
My name is Fatima. Actually,
Yeah.
I was the iPhone last week, so I have renamed it.
Yeah.
Okay. About the assignment that you gave, we have about the project development stage, right? So based on my research, I found out that the product development stage comes in five stages. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Continue.
Okay, we have the idea generation stage, Okay, this is the initial stage where a business sources for ideas regarding a new product. So the second stage is idea screening. So in this stage, the ideas generated have to go through a screening process to filter out the viable ones. So this is the second stage. Okay, the third stage is concept development. Here, the research is done to find out potential costs, revenues, and profit arising from the product. That's the third stage. For the fourth stage is the product development stage. This is where the actual design and manufacture of the product, like a prototype, is developed for market testing. Based upon the result of the test, the business will decide whether to go into production or not. And the last stage is commercialization. Here, the business launches its promotion campaign for the new product. These are the 5 stages for product development. Thank you. Based on my research.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fatima. Is there any other person that would like to share?
Hello, this
Hi.
is Antene. Antene speaking. All right. In addition to what she already mentioned, because they're somehow similar, but I just want to add the validation and the testing stage. Now, this would be after the initial design where, let's say, a first product that has been completed is sent out to the target market or the public to use the product as
Am I the only one that can't hear again?
then they would receive feedback
I also
before it's
can't hear.
produced, maybe mass produced.
Hello, internet?
Hello?
Yeah, I think you disconnected for a bit, but could you start again? Sorry.
Okay, I said in addition to what Fatima already mentioned, I want to add the testing stage, the validation and testing stage, where the first set of the products that has been produced and designed is sent to the target market, maybe a small audience, for more like a testing of the product by the users. And then
Yeah.
after stage, there would be a sort of feedback from the users and certain updates would be made.
Yes, yes. So we call it iteration. Sorry. For example, if I like using physical products because I mean, yes, there's software, but like, yeah, software. I work like where I work mostly software, but why I like using physical products is because it's easy for people to relate. If I tell you, okay, this shoe you're wearing, why do you like this shoe? Because yeah, it fits around my leg, it has nice designs. It's very easy to relate with that stuff. But that's why most of my examples are more physical products. But I mean, I can also use some software. But let me just, for example, let's say someone builds what product? Let's say a car. Let's use a car for example. And the first iteration of that car, the car has maybe 2 doors, right? So just 2 doors. And they get a lot of feedback from the people that they are testing with that, okay, the 2 doors are nice, but most of the people that are going to be driving it are people that want to carry their family and everything. So the company now realizes that, okay, maybe we shouldn't just have 2 doors. Let's add 2 more doors, making it 4 doors. Do you understand? So that's an example of iteration. Or another example is WhatsApp, for example. Another example of a software product. Recently, WhatsApp added a feature to, I think, to make it so people won't know that you're online at all. They announced that recently. That's an example of iteration. When they test their product, their product goes out to people, they test it, they find out that, okay, this is what people want, they iterate on it. So that's what you usually hear, things like updates. There's an update on this product, that kind of thing you get. So yeah, thank you guys very much. Does anyone have anything to want to say anything again before we get into the class? Hello, hello, hello.
No, thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much. So today, product design. Let's start with product design. Now, when people hear product design, some people are like, okay, as a product manager, should I be designing? Should I be? Well, no. Product design doesn't necessarily mean design it doesn't necessarily mean design as in the hard skills of designing, creating your mock-ups of low fidelity or high fidelity design. No, design is also a mindset. Now, when we say, okay, what's a product? A product is anything that solves a problem. So what is product thinking? Product thinking is basically the mindset to come up with solutions to problems. Just put it plainly. So let's put it in more clear definition. Product design is the process of identifying a market opportunity, clearly defining the problem, and developing a proper solution for that problem, then validating the solution with real results. So if you notice here, we didn't say anything about creating low fidelity designs, creating mockups. I'll explain, like all of that is like, oh, we didn't talk about creating, oh, add this button here, make this thing this color. We didn't notice that the definition mentioning about that. For a product manager is more on the mindset. Now, product design is the process, like reading it again, product design is the process of identifying a market opportunity, clearly defining the problem, then developing a proper solution for that problem, and validating the solution with real users. When Facebook came up, they realized that a lot of people were not connected. People that were in Nigeria could not connect with people that were from America. People that were in America could not connect with people that were in Asia. People that were in Asia could not connect with people that were in Europe. People that were in Europe could not connect with people that were in another continent or another country. So that was an example of identifying a market opportunity. There's actually a market for people that need this thing. And then you clearly define the problem. Okay, what's the problem now? The problem is that brother Shade or brother, this person cannot connect with his sister or cannot communicate with his sister that's in another country. That's a problem. Then you define a solution, right? Developing a proper solution, developing that, and that solution they developed was Facebook, and then validating the solution with users. So when you've developed a solution, you want to test it out with people and find out, okay, do people actually like this product? Because even you might think of a solution to a problem, you might try it out, but you realize that people actually don't like it or people don't need it. Then what's the solution? You go back and iterate. You say, okay, maybe this person didn't like this part of his product. Let's go back and iterate and try something new. That's basically where the validation part comes in. So yeah, this quote, no product is an island. A product is more than a product. It's a cohesive, integrated set of experiences, making them all work together seamlessly. Do you understand? So there is no product that can solve every single, like there's no product that has everything at once. Definitely, it's not an island. No product has everything at once. It's a cohesive, integrated set of experiences. So on like when you go on, let me use WhatsApp. So when you go on WhatsApp, you have the experience where you are checking people's status. That one is an experience. You have an experience where you are texting people. That's an experience. You have an experience where you are messaging people. That's another one. You have an experience that you are video calling people. That's another one. But still, WhatsApp cannot do every single thing. It has different experiences that come together to work for that solution it's actually solving. WhatsApp in itself, you can't use WhatsApp to maybe post pictures like IG. It doesn't have like a directory of pictures that people can see at once. So no product is an island. That's one thing you have to understand. So we don't build products to solve every single problem in the world. There is no one product you can't call a particular product, one product that can solve every single type of problem. Each product has its own problem that's solving. Then why product design? The major focus of product design is how can I make this product as delightful and easy to use as possible. So when we say delightful, we mean how can we make it interesting? How can you design it here in a way that, okay, people will like to use it? And at the same way, how can you make it as easy as possible so that when someone wants to use it, doesn't have to take like 10 steps or 100 steps before they can properly use your product. If you want to call somebody on WhatsApp, what's the process? I click on WhatsApp button, WhatsApp opens. I search for the person's name on my list, contact list. I click on the chat. Once I click on the chat, I click on the button to call. Finish. How many steps was that? That was like 4 steps. First step was clicking on WhatsApp. Second step was searching. Third step was clicking on the person's chat. Fourth step was clicking on the button. And I've called the person in 4 easy steps. So that's what I mean by making it as easy as possible. Sorry, give me a second. recall. Really sorry. All right, sorry. Okay, so design thinking. So yeah, design thinking is a process of solving complex problems in a highly user-centric way. You can build design-oriented product by understanding design thinking. If you notice this picture here, you see how before they made this earpiece, there were different iterations. I wish this picture. Let me see if I can find the original picture. Yes. Let me see if I think I have it somewhere here. I need you to see this picture properly. Okay. Sorry. Nice. Okay. Okay, can everyone see this picture here? This particular
Yes, sir.
picture here.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so you see how before they finally got to this final product here, this final one here, they went through so many iterations of it. Notice that okay, here you're seeing how they put this one for anti-flex, they put here that is gold plated, they put this one here, they put this one here that is this V shape. Now, all of these things, they have their particular reasons why they're like that. For example, this heptagon design here that you see. So this part where you see heptagon, sorry, I'm using this thing. I don't know if it's a good, but where you see heptagon here, you see that the reason why it's in that shape is because you need it to fit into the person's ear. You notice that why did they use gold here? They use gold because I think gold is, I think, is it non-conductive or more conductive? I can't really remember, but that's more of a hardware thing, which I'm not really too into. But all of these things have careful reasons why they put it together. And that's an example of problem solving in a highly structured way. So what's the process of design thinking? Now, someone comes to you and says, oh, let's say your friend comes to you and says, oh, every time I want to go to, maybe she likes going to this event center. There's an event center that's like maybe 10 kilometers or 30 kilometers away. And booking a ride, even jumping bus or going to public transport can be very stressful because you have to go from this bus to another bus. So she likes to take just one ride straight to that place and back, maybe through Bolt or through Uber or through a taxi, right? But the cost of Uber, Bolt, and taxis are very expensive at this point. So she's like, okay, this is the problem I'm currently facing. She comes to you and she's like, oh, this is the problem I'm currently facing. So what do you actually do to solve that problem? How do you start? So there's a methodology. That's what we refer to as design thinking. It's a methodology of solving problems for a product manager. So the first thing you need to do is empathize. We'll be coming back to this picture often. I'll be scrolling, going and coming back, but let's first start with the empathize. But after we empathize anyway, we'll now define. So we first say empathize, let's understand what this person is facing. Next thing is to define, okay, what's the problem? Like, what's the actual problem? After we define, we'll now move to, after defining, you move to ideation, not this testing, you go to ideation. After ideation, go to prototyping. After you prototype, then you test. Testing is the last phase before you launch. So let's move forward. First, with empathizing. So how do you empathize? First, we observe. How do users interact with their environments, capture codes, behaviors, and other things that you note that reflect their experiences? So this is very simple. When you see somebody that's having this issue, you observe their issues, observe their behaviors. How do they react to this issue they are facing? You may notice that friend that comes to you, because of this problem she's facing, she might not, there are three different problems that might come out, or there are three major issues that may come out of that problem she has faced. One is that she might not reach her location on time. Another is that she will go through a lot of stress just to reach that location because she has to jump from this bus to this one, or she has to spend too much money on just one ride. Another issue she might face is that she might end up not going there at all. She might end up not going there again because of all the stress. So that's really a way of observing. Now I've observed how she reacted because of this problem she's facing. The next is to engage. Engage is basically interviewing. You are talking to them. So you talk to your friend like, okay, so what do you do maybe I'm going to give an example. Can someone give me a name that we can use? So we'll just build the products one at a time as we're going. Can someone give me a name that we can use for this exercise? Any name at all?
Rider.
Okay.
Rider.
Rider. Sorry? Hello? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
I
sir.
can
Yes,
hear.
sir.
Oh wow, my mouse is actually here. Oh yeah, so what name did you mention?
I said rider.
Ryder. Okay, so no problem. Yeah, so we were talking to Ryder and you were like, okay, Ryder, thank you for telling us this problem you faced, or thank you for telling us this problem you faced. So let's interview you a bit. Okay, so Ryder, you ask Ryder, okay, so why do you want to? You can ask her questions like, okay, why do you want to go to this place? What do you want to go to? Oh, Ryder tells you, oh, I have there's a wedding I want to attend. Oh, there's a conference I want to attend. Oh, there's a get together I want to attend, and I don't want to get there late. As you're talking to this person, you're getting an understanding of what this rider or what rider is going through. You're understanding in greater insight. Okay, rider has issues. We get to this place on time. She doesn't like jumping from this cab to this cab. She likes following one car entirely. That's an example of engaging. The next is interact. Interact is basically imagine you were facing that problem soon. You get that's basically interaction. Imagine you were facing that problem. Okay, what would you do? How would you feel? How would you try and solve that problem? So these are ways where you can empathize with somebody on that particular problem that they are facing. So yeah, how to develop basically developing a deeper understanding of the user. So you say, okay, what do I know about this issue? What don't I know? Next is you connect with that user. Okay, so you connect with rider. Okay, what's the issue you're facing? You either observer or you interviewer, or you try and put yourself in her shoes. So in a situation where you can't even interview your rider, but you know there's a problem, you can imagine yourself in that situation. Like imagine, oh, you want to get to this wedding, or you want to get to this meetup, or you want to get to this gathering, and there's the buses you have to drop. That's a very stressful process. The car you want to take, you pay a lot, right? And you're just like, okay, what would you do? What would you do? You can put yourself in that shoes, or you can interview the person too, or you can what was the first one? Sorry. Or you can observe how that person reacts or behaves when they are faced with that problem. Another thing is next is carefully considering research approaches. So this one is just basically back to the interview. So yeah, learn by observing and asking, develop a shared understanding and empathy. Empathizing is basically just, like empathy, just understanding what this person is going through. Be able to say, okay, yes, I really understand what this person is going through. This situation that this person is in, and how much is paining them. You understand? So yeah, how do you empathize? User interviews, carrying out surveys, empathy maps. So basically, we already discussed about user interviews. I'll get back to the empathy surveys, but carrying out surveys, yes, you can carry out a survey you can do a survey with an interview. So okay, you interview 10 people, and then each of them say, oh, I don't like riding bike. And you've noted that 10 people don't like riding bike. That's already a survey. So you can also use Google Forms. I think you guys know Google Forms, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So a Google form is like a list of, to put it simply, is like a list of questions that you ask somebody. A form basically is a list of questions that you ask someone to gain insights on a particular thing. So I think maybe when you were signing up to Shinovate, they might have done like a form or something to get information from you, like your name, your age, where you school, that kind of thing. So that was already a form. So Google Forms is a form by Google, a digital form by Google to help us in carrying out surveys. So that's basically what, so in situations where you can't do interviews, so you can try out a survey. You notice people are always sharing surveys. Those people are trying to get information about a problem you are facing currently. Then our empathy map is basically mapping out everything you learn. Okay, so we start with, okay, what issue is the person facing? You draw that out. Then next is, how do they feel? How do they feel when they face this problem? You write that down. What do they do when they face this problem? You write that down. And then you're connecting the dots. You're noticing a particular trend okay, anytime people are unable to find a bus, they will try and call Uber. When they check the Uber price, they will just go back home. You've already created an empathy map. You understand the direction in which your users go anytime they face this problem. So now we've empathized. We've said, okay, we understand. We understand what this person, or we understand what rider is going. Next thing is now to define the problem. So I'll move forward, but we'll still come back here. So the next thing is to define the problem. Like, what is the problem actually this person is facing? So how do we define the problem? First, you can do that by writing problem statements or user need statements. You can do that by writing user personas, or you can do that by using user custom journey. So we're going to go back to rider. So from what we discussed about rider, who can just state rider's problem?
Please, can you rephrase the question, please?
Yeah, who can state rider's problem? Can someone just tell me, right, what's the problem rider is facing? Based on what I've mentioned. So
She wants to go to an event center that is 50 kilometers away, but she's
yeah,
having some.
exactly. She wants phrasing it even better. Like, yeah, she wants to go to a place that's 50 kilometers away. That's what she wants. But now the major problem she now faces is that she can't get there on time. That's one. And two, she can't get there with the right price. In fact, three, she can't get there without going through stress. So those are three major issues she's facing. So that's an example of writing the problem statement or the user need statement. What are the three things that rider needs? One, she wants to get there early. Two, she wants to get there without going through too much stress. And three, she wants to get there in a cheap way without having to spend too much. Now, why does she want to get there early? Because yeah, the event is starting at this particular time. So she wants to get there at a particular time. Now, for her to get there early, she might want to go through transport. She can't walk there, so she'll go through transport. So let's start with public transport. If she goes through public transport, they will drop her in one place. She has to come down, look for another bus, go to this place, come down, because it's 50 kilometers. There aren't that many buses that can take you all 50. So you have to go from here to here, here to here. So she doesn't want to go through that stress. She wants to go just straight from here to there once. But now, if she books a taxi, Uber, it's expensive. Like, so those are the major three issues she's facing. So next is you create a user persona. Now, in creating, we'll come back to this part because we would have to do like an exercise on that. I have an example we use, but I want you to just understand what each part is. Then I'll show you the example when we're done with this part. So next is you creating a user persona. Now, a user persona is basically just a definition of an average user. So in this situation, we can say, okay, rider doesn't like to stress. That's an example of a user. We already know from this situation now what's rider's behavior. She doesn't like to stress. She wants to go there, but she doesn't want to stress. Oh, she likes to get there on time. That's another example of a user persona. Oh, she doesn't like to spend too much money. That's another thing. Also, we can also say she's calculative because in all of these things, she has the thought of different options. There are some people that from anyone they do, they will just go like that. They won't even think about other options. They will just pick one and go. But we can understand that rider is very calculative. So consider all different types of options that she needs to solve her problem. So these are the ways this is an example of a user persona. Then finally, a user or customer journey. From what we've discussed, we've already given an example of a user journey. The journey is basically, okay, rider comes out. She wants to go to this event center on time. Okay, so she looks for a bus, but she realizes that, okay, if I follow bus, it will take me time because I have to drop here, go through the stress of finding another bus that will get me to this place, enter that bus, enter taxi, enter a bike, and she doesn't want to go through that stress. So she's like, okay, let me use a taxi. She meets a taxi man and she asks the man, okay, what's the price? The man tells her 5,000. And she's like, just to go to this place. No, that's too much. Then she's not like, okay, so what will I do now? There's no taxi, there's no bus. Well, it's just to go back home. What you just described there is a user journey, right? That is a user journey. So now we understand the problem she's facing based on this. So moving back here, yeah, so as you can see from this part here, we visit the unknowns here, align with your new knowledge based on how we've defined the problem. We will now go back and revisit our knowledge. Okay, so when we empathize, we go back to everything we knew during the empathy test, then we align it with what we did when we realized during the definition stage. We distill our research into artifacts. So this is basically, if you look here, this image you see here, this example is an example of a user persona. So here where you see the face, that's the person's face. Then Every other thing is information. I'll show you this once we're done with defined parts. Then you tell a story. So, for example, I just told you a story of the issue that Ryder faces. She first comes out of her house. After she comes out of her house, she realizes that, okay, I want to go to this event center. When she checks that, okay, she can't just walk there because it's 50 kilometers. She has to book this one, book that one. So that's a story. Then generates problem statements. We mentioned the problem statements was, one, she doesn't want to spend too much money, so she wants to get there on time. 3, she wants to do it without going through too much stress. Then 5, yes, you record everything. Recording is basically just writing it down. Make sure that whatever you learn, you have a place where you've written down and you can go back to and recollect what you've learned. Because if you just put it in your head, you forget, definitely you forget. So let me close this. I know I did one research one time. I think I should still have that here. Hopefully it hasn't. I didn't delete it or it's on this part. Just give me a second, sorry. Okay. So while that is, well, everyone can see my screen, right? Just to clarify how this is loading.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is a project I did, but I think did I put my user persona here? Sorry, let me look for it. Just tell me I didn't do it. Wow. I think I deleted it. Oh. Okay. I saved it somewhere. My Google Slides. Sorry. I really need to show you this particular work because it's very helpful. Yes, I believe this is it. Okay, yeah. So everyone can see my screen, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is an example of a user persona. This is a friend of mine. He's the student council chairman at his university. So in my discussion with him, I realized that, okay, he's a student. What are his goals? What, let's put in the context of Ryder. Now, let's say this was Ryder, right? So what would here, if you notice here, we'll first put our name. So who can give me a surname for Ryder? Any surname, any name, just any quick one so that we'll move forward.
Okay, we can use James.
Okay, so Ryder James. So in building your user persona, we'll first start by writing Ryder James, right? Then let's say age, 20 years. We can put course of study. Okay, she's studying engineering, mechanical engineering, mass comm, mathematics, anyone you want. Gender, female, occupation. Maybe she's a writer, as writer. Maybe she's a bowler. Maybe she's a banker. Yeah, maybe she's a banker. So all of this, you capture the information, then you put the person's picture here. Now, the next thing, if you notice this part, what's it saying? Goals, pain points, behavior, psychographic, risk aversion. Let's start from the beginning. You can leave these two out for now. Let's focus on these main 3. These are the main 3 we need. So first thing is the goals. Now, what's Ryder's, from what we discussed, who can give me Ryder's goals? What are our goals?
I think this isn't Tiene. I think one of her goals is to find an affordable ride that can take her from one place to another.
Yes, that was one, definitely.
And a ride that is stressful. That is stress-free, rather.
Yes.
A ride that is stress-free.
Yeah, stress-free. But there's one particular one, the first one we discussed, there was one particular goal. Because even if she wants to go for a ride that's stress-free, why does she want to go for a ride that's stress-free?
Okay. Ntine speaking again. A ride that would enable her attend her event on time.
Exactly. So that was our number one goal. She wants to get there on time. And yes, without stress. So when you've listed those goals, you list them down here. So now we know her goals. We've said that, okay, let's bring it down. One, she wants to get there on time. Two, she wants to get there stress-free. Then we also discussed, yes, she wants to get there without spending too much. But the number one goal there is that she wants to get there on time. Let's remember that. Then next, our pain points. What are the pain points that she faces? What are the issues that she's facing now based on the journey that we discussed? Let me see if I can duplicate this and work on this. So we can be writing it as we're going. Yeah. So can someone tell me what are the pain points she's currently facing? A pain point is basically anything that is stopping her from reaching that goal or meeting her goal. Let me start with you. Can someone help me spell rider? I don't know if it's the rider. I don't know if it's spelling it properly. "20 years, yeah. So what course of study should we put? Just be giving me the information as I'm going so that we'll be moving. I'm just giving an answer. Course of study, anybody, course of study.
Computer
Is it
science.
Mass
right?
okay.
Computer.
Okay. That's science, BSc, mass comm, MSc, finish. Okay, so now we have this. I don't have any. I don't know if I have a picture of girl. Put down later. That one doesn't really matter too much for now. So her first goal is that she wants to get to her event early, right? That was the first thing we said. Then the second one was what?
Getting a stress-free ride.
Yeah. So why is this thing now? Okay, anyway. Okay, stress, right? Then the last one is
An
right.
affordable.
Let's just yes. Get an affordable. Yep. So the next is our pain points. What are the pain points she's facing? So the pain points are basically, yeah, anything that's stopping her from achieving that goal. So from what we discussed, what are the things that are stopping Ryder from achieving this goal? Hello.
Um,
Oh,
I think one of her pain points is having to alight at different places before getting to her final destination.
exactly. So one is if she's following public transport, she has to stop at different places. So, oh yeah, let's stopping different stations. So, right? What other pain points is she facing? From what I've discussed, I could identify two that she's facing. So what other pain points is she
Not
facing?
getting to the event. Not getting to the event on time.
Yes, but what is stopping her from getting to that event on time?
High cost of should I say private rights?
Yes, exactly.
What?
Yeah, that's good. High cost private. Right. So let's just put some and stop there. So now we know these two pain points. We said that okay, one is stopping at different locations before arriving at a location. Let's say on public transportation, right? And the second one is okay, transport. Let me just put it. Then second one is high cost of private ride. Then the next one is okay, what's our behavior? When we said okay, now that she has tried, she said okay, I can't use public because of the stress. And the second one is I can't use private because of the price. What did he say was her behavior?
Okay.
What does she do when she realizes that, okay, oh, sorry. So what did we say she does when she realizes that, okay, what does she do when she realizes that she can't pay for the at that price and just she doesn't want to go to the stress? What does she do in the process?
She could decide to, she goes back home because of pain points and ends up not attending her event.
Exactly. Exactly. She goes back home. Goes back home. Right? Okay. So let's leave the psychographic on now for now. We'll just focus on these first three. Now, by psychographic just means her way of thinking, right? So, like I said before, she's analytical. She's calculative. Yes, that's an example of psychography. So she calculates. She analyzes different options. She's not the type of person that she just gets a problem, then she'll pick one solution and go. She's calculative. Also, she's not a stress. Doesn't really like to stress. So if you're noticing how the kind of examples I put here, this guy is passionate about his course, he's knowledge seeking. Then risk aversion means if we provided this person a solution, what type of will she be the first one of the first people to get to participate in our product or use our product, or will she be one of the people that you have to constantly advertise, constantly tell them about the product before you actually use it? So that's basically psychographic and risk aversion, but we don't need to treat that right now. So yeah, this is apart from the picture and these two, this is our result persona. We've identified her name, her age, her course of study, her gender, her occupation. We've talked about our goals, pain points, and behaviors. Now, in this, you can also include other information that you feel is necessary. Like now, we've not said whether, okay, what was her salary? We could ask, okay, what's her salary? Because that's an information that might help us. What's her salary range? Maybe one of the reasons why she doesn't like to spend too much on the rides is because her salary range is not so high. Maybe she's earning 50,000 per month or 100,000 per month. If someone is earning 50,000, you're going to spend 5,000 on one trip. That's a whole lot. So those are kind of information, although you might not ask the person to, you can just say, okay, well, might not ask the person what's your particular salary, but you can just say what's the range. Maybe 50,000, 100,000, 100,000, 200,000, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of information. Any information you feel will be needed to solve your problem, you include it. But for my own research at the time, I only needed this information because what the kind of research I was carrying out was regarding to academics. So yeah, this is our persona. Let's move forward. That took some time. Yes. Okay, so close that first. Okay, yeah. I'll have to bridge because I need to quickly get some. I have to go and do something. So we're on define. So does anyone have any questions so far? Based on what we discussed about empathizing and defining, any questions? Hello, any questions? Hello, hello, hello. Am I muted?
No, sir, no questions, sir, for my part. No questions. Sir.
Okay, so continue. So next is we're going to ideate. Okay, so this is where we now come to bringing up like our ideas as to how to solve the problem. So this one has to be highly interactive. So I need everybody to engage so that we can won't waste too much time here. So first, we said lead with, if you notice here, this is the stage where we want to think of ideas to solve the problem or solutions to our problem. So the first one is let's lead with the user needs. That means we first say, okay, what are the needs of the person before we even start dating? What are our needs? We identify three major needs. She wants to get there early. She wants to get there without too much stress. and she wants to get there without spending too much, right? Involve multifunctional teams. For example, this team now is a multifunctional team. I can say, okay, I'm the product manager, and we have everyone here too is also a product manager, but you are product managers for different parts of the team, or sorry, different parts of the company. Then next, we lay down the rules. So rules are like, okay, I mean, these one are more practical rules, like, oh, let's remove our phones, let's not, no side talking, let's be concentrated, that kind of thing. Then separate idea generation and evaluation. Yeah, so we'll have a stage where we're coming up with ideas, we're just coming up with ideas. And after we bring out all ideas, we'll now break it down. Okay, which one is the good one, which one is the bad one, that kind of thing. Although there's no bad idea, it's just which one is the one that can actually solve our problem. Then, yeah, think about how to communicate ideas. So we're going to discuss on how we're going to communicate ideas and all. So this one is going to be practical. I don't want us to just be me to just be talking. So we're going to, let me see if I can create a new page. Can I see me? I don't even know how to use this thing again. So yeah. All right. So for this session, please, I want everyone to participate. We've identified 3 of our problems. And what are the problems we said? I'm asking you, like this. Hello. So what are the problems we identified, please?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get there on time.
Sorry?
To get to her destination, Reda wants to get to her destination on time.
Okay. Okay, next one.
She needs an affordable,
a stress-free one.
Okay, so we've identified these 3 things. We said she wants to get to her destination on time. She needs an affordable approach, and she also needs a. Sorry, someone has like this background noise. Can you mute your mic? Sorry. Yeah, thank you. So we've identified these 3 needs. These are 3 needs now. We know that, okay, she wants to get there on time. She needs an affordable approach. Then she needs a stress-free approach. So what we're going to be doing here is everybody is going to say, give a solution, just something you feel, okay, how can we solve this issue of her getting to our destination on time? Let's start with that one. So we said that, okay, let's start from the beginning. I'm going to, let's say I am Ryder. So if you have any question for me, you can ask me so that we can all work on solving the problem. We're going to solve this Ryder's problem today. So I'm Ryder, I'm going to describe my situation. So I come out of my house by, the event I want to attend is by 12 o'clock. I wake up in the morning. After I wake up, I brush, eat, bathe, everything before. I wake up by 6 o'clock, I brush, eat, bathe, and then I pray before 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, I'm ready. I step out of my house. By 8:10, I've reached like the first, I've come outside my gate or outside my estate. So now there's a bus stop, there are some taxis. So I go to the bus stop and I realize that if I follow this bus stop, based on what the conductor and the driver they're telling me I'll stop at this bus stop, I'll come down, enter another bus stop, come down, follow bike, turn here, go there. I don't want to go to that stress. I don't have the strength today. So, and also, okay, let me go to this taxi man. Taxi man said, it's 5,000 to reach there. And I'm only carrying 2,000 to even go there. And it's not like the 2,000 is just for transport. I want to use 1,000 to go and spend on that event too. So how do I now solve this problem? So let's discuss. If you have questions for me, I'm Ryder now. If you have any question, I'll answer you. But ask me questions, bring up solutions. I'll also lead you guys through the solutions. Then we'll come up with a product today.
Okay, so you said the event is by 12.
Yes, the event is by 12.
Meaning that you have to prepare, like, since you want to follow the public transport, you have to prepare like 3 hours. You have to start your movement 3 hours before the time. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. So that's why I came out by 8 o'clock. I'm right up by the way. So that's why I came out by 8 o'clock because I know that okay, if I'm following public transport, by the time I get there, let's say it's be in 3 hours time, that's 11 o'clock. So I'll still be 1 hour early, right? So we can say, okay, yeah. So yes, I've answered your question. You get it. Yeah, yeah, yes. They might stop you.
Okay.
Yeah, so sorry. Sorry, Pascal, I'm in a meeting. Sorry, I'm coming. Yeah, hello. Can you guys hear me? Really sorry. Yes. So, any other questions? Any solution?
Mm, okay. I would like to ask. This is Tene speaking. I would like to ask.
Yeah.
Do you have any specification of anything you might want to travel with? Is it a car or would you prefer
So,
a bike? Also, an
so,
alternative way of moving.
so me as rider, I'm okay with any car, but I don't like bikes. I don't like bikes because bikes are very scary for me. So I only want car or bus, anyone. But the only thing is that if I'm riding a bus, I don't want a situation where the bus will drop me here. I have to come down, go to another place. I want something that will just take me straight. And at the same time, it should be affordable. So yeah, that's the answer to that. I like every other type of transportation apart from yes. So let's even start breaking it down little by little because honestly, don't worry, don't be scared about the silence. Don't worry, that's how ideation is. So we brainstorm, we discuss. So let me help you in this regard. Now we've said let's first start with the first problem. We want to get there in time. Even if we say today, no matter what we want to say, we know that if rider wants to get there on time, there is nothing you want to tell me. She can't use her leg. We know that one for sure. See, we're starting from the very beginning. Can everyone agree with me? She can't use her leg, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And she said, okay, she's not using bike. So we know that leg and bike, they're out of it. So definitely, one thing we know for sure now is that she's going to use a vehicle or a car or a bus, any vehicle apart from bike and her leg. Are we correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. Nice. So the first thing we're going to do now, we're going to first, let me see how I can copy and paste. Okay. Okay, let me just write it there. She needs, see, she needs a vehicle to get the time. No bikes, no walk. So now we have that. If that's the first piece of, let's say, solution, let's say just the first piece of information that will help us get to our solution. Little by little, as you're asking me, by getting some of this information we need. So we know now that okay, she needs a vehicle, no matter what. Even if you want to say this one, she shall needs a vehicle because for her to go there in 50 kilometers, there's nothing she wants. She can't just fly by herself. She can't just teleport there. She needs something that can take her there. So we know for sure she needs a vehicle. So yeah. So keep asking questions. Let's get to the root of it. This might not be all we might put for this problem. We might state more. So if you have questions too that can relate to it, definitely ask. We're going to get to the source of the solution today.
Okay.
If you want me to go to, so in all of these three screens, if you want me to go to anyone, just tell me so that it can help you like your question. Let me look for a picture of, will it even enter if I put a picture of a woman? This thing doesn't work too well. Sorry, I'm looking for where's this note? Okay, yeah. Let's see. Change the bit. Yes, I can change it. How much? Yeah, so you can be asking me questions while I'm trying to change this picture.
So why didn't you save up enough money before that day? Like spend money so that in case of problems like this, why didn't you save enough money?
Okay, so wow, that's a very good question. Okay, so I normally, whenever I'm going to an event, whenever I'm going to an event that's far away, what I normally do is that I save money to go on public transport times. But now for this particular event, I didn't know that this event was going to be so far away. When I found out that okay, I don't, because this is my first time going for that particular event. So when I found out that oh, the event is actually 50 kilometers away, and going to public transport will make me drop here, drop here, drop here, drop here. And I realized that okay, that's going to be a lot of stress for me. So normally I have money to go for public transport, but for today, for this particular event, I don't want to go to the stress because the place is far and there's going to be a lot of stress. By the way, that was a very good question. But yeah, that's the answer. So just using we said the image. Oh, I have a picture. That's the thing. Okay, let me just move this one like this. I have one. Still waiting for any question or any solution. I think I have one for one of my students. Yes. Okay. Okay. So yes, this is radar. So it's easier to understand. Okay. So any questions, any solution, let me know. You know, by the way, you don't need to bring out like the best idea. Sorry, another thing I want to say. I know sometimes you want to think hard and maybe if you have something in your head, even if it's anything at all, just discuss it, say it. It might even it might not be the final answer, but it will lead us to the answer. Do you understand? So anything that comes to your head that feels like okay, maybe this might work for her, say it so that we'll discuss on it. Then we'll see, okay, how can we learn from this one? How can we learn from that one? Then it will lead us to the final answer. Okay, so let me ask a question. Let me ask you a brief question. There was something that Ryder said. I don't know if anyone noticed it. Normally she will follow public transport because I mean, why would she follow public transport normally? Can anyone just give a direct answer to? Sorry,
It's cheaper.
it's cheaper, right? So why is public transport? Now let's ask the question: why is public transport cheaper?
It carries more passengers at the time.
So sorry, give me a second. The call again. I'm really sorry. Hello, Pastor. Okay. Come on. Jerry, I bet Pastor. Pastor. Guys, please, no. Yeah, it's mine. It's mine. Like, downstairs. Why is
Your
Shama
mic
downstairs?
is on.
Yes, sorry. Sorry. I'm back. Sorry. And I'm not the host. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, marvelous. Can you make me a co-host? I think you're the host right now. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think someone was saying so. Yes. So why is public transport cheaper? Let's ask that question soon.
I said it takes more passengers at a time.
More passengers at a time, right? Okay, so now we're getting closer. Okay, so now why can't public transport just go straight there? I mean, if it's already solving that problem, we know that what's the first thing? Public transport, there's a car. Okay, so we know that if the car can go there, if there's a car or a vehicle, we will definitely be able to get there on time. That's the first thing we said. We know that two, public transport is affordable. Fine, right? It's affordable. But the problem now with that public transport is that it's stressful. Why is it now? Why is it stressful? Can someone answer that question? Why is it stressful?
It's
Okay. I think it's because it won't go straight to the destination where she's going to.
Good. So now, where is the defining problem? Where is that place where we can now bring a solution? We've said it now that, okay, already public transport is solving two of these problems. One, it will help us get to our destination on time. Fine, definitely, it's a car. I mean, two, it is affordable. Why? Because plenty people are there. But the third one is that it is stressful. So when we now say, okay, why is this public transport actually stressful? Because there was a question somebody asked me. Somebody said, why need I save? And I told her that normally I follow public transport. Normally, I follow public transport, but the issue is that for today, particularly, I realize that the stress is a whole lot. I realize that the stress is a whole lot. So, Jeremiah, please can you help me close the door? Thanks. So, I realize that the stress today, particularly, I realize that the stress is a whole lot. So, I'm not able to use public transport today, particularly, because I want to go there straight. Do you understand? So, now we've identified where the main issue is. Can someone just tell me where that main issue is?
Getting a transport that will take her directly to her destination.
Directly, right? Exactly. So where can we bring out a solution? We've created some layers that have already gotten us close to that solution. Do you understand? We've already said, okay, there's transportation, is affordable, but the only problem is that it will stop somewhere. Now, bus drivers, they have their own path they used to follow. They will go from here to this place, then turn back, go again, turn back, go again, turn back. They don't fly too far. They go from one place, turn back. It's usually a short distance. That's why there are bus stops. Then you enter another bus stop, that bus to take you to that one, come back, that one, come back, that kind of thing. None of them go through. So how do we now find what kind of solution can we now bring, right? Like there's a particular problem there. There's a particular problem. Someone mentioned it too, but there's one particular problem that we can now find a way to solve. Then we can now start saying, okay, yes, this is where we can bring our solution from.
Okay, can I say that she needs to find a direct public transport?
Exactly. Now we're getting closer, right? We've said now that okay, most of the public transport that exist, all of them are always going from this place to this place, they will turn back. But now if you just brought an example, how can we find a direct public transport? Now, what's that direct public transport doing? One, it will help us get to our destination on time. Fine. Two, it is affordable, right? It's affordable because it's public. Three, it is stress-free because it's direct. We've already, as you just said, we've already solved the problem. That's the solution, right? That's the solution. That's already an example, right? But we're getting closer. We've already started building a very good solution, right? Now we know that okay, one thing that can solve our problem is a direct public transport because that one will solve all three of these problems. So now, let's evaluate this solution. Let's evaluate. Is it possible? Let's start with that. Can it actually solve our problem? Let's just ask that question. Do you guys think a direct public transport can solve our problem? That's public transport that can go from where she is straight to that event. Do you think it can solve that problem?
I think it can solve the problem, but a major challenge would be getting other people that are going to the same destination on time as well. Because 8 a.m. and then someone else might say that she doesn't want to leave by 8 a.m. It's not everybody that
Yeah. Yes, you're right. You're right. Now, what you just said, very brilliant. You now brought up an issue again because sometimes we may say, oh, we've reached the solution. But when you evaluate, let's go back here. There was something they said here. It says what does it say here? Separate idea generation and separate evaluation. Now we've brought out the idea. We said, okay, it's a good idea. Yes, it directs public transport. But now let's evaluate that idea. And we've noticed a problem. We know that direct will solve that problem. But the problem now you just brought up again is that even though it will solve that problem, not everybody will be going at that particular time and to that particular place. So how do we now, let's now iterate on that, that solution. How do we solve that one? How do we make sure that everybody now comes in at that particular time to that particular place? So can someone give another suggestion to that? So as you notice, I'm also documenting everything we're saying because you need to constantly record all your findings. You need to constantly document everything so that you know that you can refer back to it. So I've documented the next now, write the next one now. So yeah, now that we've discussed a problem now that just came out of our solution, not everybody can be there at the same time, at the same location and be going to our place. So how do we solve that problem? How do we solve that problem? Think about, okay, let me give an example. Think about your daily school life or think about your daily life. I don't know if everybody is school, but have you ever had a situation where you want to go somewhere, right? You want to go somewhere to a direct place, but you don't have the money to, like, all the money to spend to go to that place. Then you now realize, okay, there's somebody that I'm sure somebody has had that situation. Oh, I can join with this person. Two of us will split the money for the transport. We'll go there together, right? Has anyone had that experience?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Exactly. So what did you do to get that person? Like, how did you get that person to join you?
Is to convince the person.
Convince. What if that person doesn't have plans? Now, this is a solution we're bringing. We said now, okay, let's bring it to the context of our solution. We've said now, we don't know if people are going to be going to the same place as rider at the same time. So what's this problem we're trying to solve there? Can someone just tell me, let's even start with that. What's the problem we're trying to solve there? Don't worry, just feel free to talk. There's no wrong or right answer. Like anything that you feel, just speak.
Okay, sir. I think time, but then I believe that maybe fixing a time that will be convenient for everybody. Maybe that way it should work out.
Good. Exactly. Now we're getting closer. We said, okay, let's fix a time, right? Because if we fix a time, anybody that is going there, they know that, okay, by this time, we are going to this place. Can someone give me an example of this situation? You know how school buses work? Is everyone here?
Yes.
You know how school buses work? They will tell you, oh, all of you come to this place at this particular time. All the children, all the students come to this place at this particular time. The bus will leave here by 6 o'clock. The bus will leave here by 7 o'clock, right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So now we've said next thing. Let me write down. So the next thing is that we need to fix a time. See? But now if we fix a time, would that still solve the problem? Okay, so we have 4 things we noted. Now we said, okay, the first thing is that she needs a vehicle. Okay, so that's the public transport. Sorry, that's the bus. Then the next thing is that, or the vehicle, rather, she needs a vehicle. And she now say, okay, she needs public transport that goes directly to her location. Why does she need public transport? Because it's cheaper that way. Everybody can split the cost. Then the next thing is, okay, she needs other people to go with her at that particular time and at that place, because not everybody is going to be going to that event center at by 9 o'clock or by 8 o'clock. Do you get at that time at that place? And at the place where she even wants to be picked up from. Do you understand? The next thing is that we need to now fix a convenient time for everyone. So we will now pick a time where everybody can now come. So with all these things we discussed, does it actually now solve the problem? Can someone ask, like, give an answer to that? Does this actually solve the problem? Or do you feel there's still an issue with this? Do you feel there's still something about this that might not work?
I would like to add an idea as well. I understand that Ryder said she had just, I think, about 1,000 naira, but
Mhm.
sometimes extra services, definitely it requires extra cost. So personally, I would have asked um, if she's willing to pay extra, and that extra, how far can she go? Because even if we have to get people to join her, we can maybe, depending on the public transport that we're talking about, we can decide to get maybe 4 other people or 3 other people to join her so that it moves on time. So I would ask her how much more she can add to what she has already, like the highest amount she can pay for that service, for that service rather.
Okay, okay. I think I understand where you're coming from. So you're saying that for us to even get to that location, how much, even if we say, okay, let's bring people together, how much more can she add? Now let me give you the direct answer. She only has 2,000 in her budget. She only has 2,000 in her. That's what she's budgeted. But now the cost for you, let's say you are the person that's the bus driver, the cost for you to take somebody there, even for fuel alone is 3,000. So even that 2,000 will not work. She doesn't have that money at all. So what do we now do for our situation? We're now the ones who are the product managers that are thinking through. And you need to understand that no matter what situation a person is, you understand, there's always a solution to that problem. So even if, yes, we can say, oh, why didn't she wake up early? But there's still a solution to even the problem she's facing for not waking up early too. Do you understand? Or for not saving enough money. There's still a solution for her, even for not saving up enough money. Do you understand? So now she has told you, okay, I only have 2,000. She only has 2,000, right? At this point in time, as much as she even if she wants to pay for extra services, she doesn't have the money to pay for extra services because even her salary will not help her. Like we discussed, her budget, her current salary range is, let's say, 50,000. So I'm right there. My current salary range is 50,000. So I can't even spend more than 2,000 on transport one day. Imagine there are 30 days in a month. I can't spend more than 2,000. If I spend 2,000 every day, it will be more than my salary. So 2,000 is my budget for this movement. So what do we now do now? So for the sake of time, actually, because we're actually I was even thinking of finishing this 1 hour 13, but already past that. Let me try and give like some hints, then I hope be able to move forward. So the first thing is that we've already gotten, like, already we're doing amazing. We said she needs to get other people with her at that particular time, at that place. We need to fix a convenient time for everyone. But there's still one problem with this. Even if we fix a time, how do we know people that are actually still going there? Because okay, we've said let's pick a time. Okay, we've announced, oh, you people come out by this time, are going to this place. How do we know people that are actually going there? How do we know? How do we get people that are going there? So that's a flaw with this current situation we have. Because even though there's a time we've picked, what if nobody comes out by that time? Do you understand? So what solution can we provide to get people to actually know that, okay, by 9 p.m. Okay, by 9 p.m. this bus is going to be here. We need to go. So how do we pass this information to people? Because people might not know. So how do we pass this information to people? So let's ask this question. Let me put it. Let me use this example. Can someone be rider? So I'll just show you how it's done. Then you can follow suit. We'll try this again in our next class course of time. So who can volunteer to be rider?
Okay, I will.
Okay. Sorry, what's your name? So that I'll just call you rider. Sorry, let me call you rider. So rider, how do you get information on anything at all? What do you use to get information on?
On what?
Like if you want to get information on anything, like you want to find out what's latest thing happening in news, what's the latest, who's the latest footballer in town, what's happening in Big Brother Nigeria. What do you use? What are the things you use to get this information?
I use Google mostly.
Okay, Google. Okay,
Yes.
so what device do you use to use Google?
My Android phone.
Your Android phone. Fine, good. Okay. So now I know that you are my user persona, and I know that you get information through your Android phone. So that means that already I know that if I want to pass information to people for this particular thing, to get people to know about this time and this location, I need to develop something where something that you can view on your Android phone. So it could be a website that will just put so that you just access it with your Android phone and see, okay, there's a bus going by 9 p.m. Or it could be an app that you just go to and see, okay, what buses are going to this event? Where are they going to? What time are they going to? Let me give an example. Has anyone visited a flight, any airplane, these airline websites? Has anyone visited any before?
Yes, but not like consistently.
Okay. Or let's say, I'm looking for a website that we all that works with time. I don't know any website that works with time. But anyway, let's use an airline place. So for airplanes, they have a particular time when that plane will leave Nigeria, right? And they know what location. We know that it's Muritala Mohammed. Let's say Lagos. To leave from Muritala Mohammed Airport. That's the location. And we know that by this time, by 5 o'clock, the airplane is leaving. So if I want to get information on that, I'll go to the website. I'll go to, let's say, Ghana Air website or Nigeria Airways website. And I'll see, okay, by this time, this plane is going. So what do? I book, right? Is anyone with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I book ahead. So what I'm now going to do in this situation is, that means we're now getting closer to this solution. We're not okay. So we need something that we can put some on the internet, right? For example, or on Google, or something that Google can search, where people can go to and get the information on when this bus is going to be going out, or where and when the bus is going to be going out. So that if I go on the web, if me now I develop a website and I say, okay, or an app, those are the two examples. I develop a website that says, okay, by this time, sorry for the background noise, by the way. By this time, this bus is going to this event center. By 9 a.m., this bus is going to this event center, and you only have to pay 100 naira, but you sit down with 20 other people. Does this solution solve riders problem?
Yes, it does.
Exactly, because and why does it solve it? Because one, it will help her get to our destination on time. We said that okay, you need 3 hours ahead. Someone mentioned 3 hours, and the bus is leaving by 9 a.m. That means to get there exactly by 12 p.m. Right? That's one. So she will get there on time. Second is affordable. The boss is saying because there are plenty of people on that bus, you only need to pay maybe 100, 200, 300. But if she had gone for private, she would have gone the full 1,000. And she has already told us that she likes public. The issue is not that she doesn't like public. She's okay with public. So she can enter that one even if it's within 20 people. And then she said she doesn't did that stress-free approach. She doesn't want to be dropping here and here and here. The bus is going direct to that place and coming back. So this solution now solves the problem because one is able to book anybody too that's like rider. Because you know the funny thing, if rider can have that problem, plenty other people can have that problem. That's the beauty about a product. If me, I can have that problem. I'm a human being, so other people too can have that problem. Do you understand? So now we've brought about a solution, an example. Oh, by the way, I just want to explain that this is not the only solution. There are plenty solutions. Do you understand? For the sake of time, let's just explore this one that's like the most obvious. Now, what I'm going to do is the solution we just described. I'm going to give you a website. It's called Shortlers. Not allow. Okay. This is a product. Now I want you to read this. Can someone read this part where you see book a ride? Can someone just read this out?
Select pickup and destination location and click on find shuttle. Confirm time and
The
click
second.
on your right.
This, you see what you just saw here is exactly what we just described. Is exactly what we just described. Is a bus. It's called shuttlers. How it works is a bus service. As you can see, there's a bus here. So what is it saying? Book a ride. Select a pickup location. Now select your pickup and destination location. So where do you want them to pick you up? Where do you want to reach? Click on find shuttle. So find a shuttle is, you know what a shuttle is? A shuttle is a bus that parks like multiple people. Then click and book a ride on your right. Now, any other person that comes here will see that, okay, imagine all of us now on a particular day, we want to get to Ibadan tomorrow, right? And we just come on this website and we see that, oh, there's a bus that's going to Ibadan by 10 a.m. in the morning, right? There's a bus that's going to Ibadan by 10 a.m. in the morning. So I'll now say, okay, what's the price? 1,000 naira. Why? Because there are 20 other people in that bus. I'm okay with it. I book it and I move forward. So this is what we just did. For example, these people that built this product. What we just did is the exact same thing these people did. They were thinking of rider, like, okay, how can we help riders solve this problem? Do you understand? So that's an example. This is an example of a product that, or let's say, if we had continued with this product, this is something that we could have built eventually. So because of time, I need to actually quickly go. Yeah, sorry, do you have any question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I want to ask, this pickup location, according to that short class, is it based on the products owners? Let me just use the product owner. That's those that developed the product, or is based on the customer? Because if it's based on the customer, then we're still going back to that problem of having to stop at different locations. So is it that the product already its own?
So so the product works based on, now this is also a problem you mentioned. So I've never used the app, but I've done some research at some point. So the way they do it is that, let's say you have 100 people and they say, and 50 of them say they want their pickup location to be, you cannot pick you might not be able to pick a particular pickup location, like, oh, I want it at number 1 Ajamu Street. No, it might not be like that. The pickup locations will probably be bus stop, so you can pick a bus stop. Do you understand? Now, you will notice that you realize that at least 10 people might have picked a bus stop. This maybe one bus stop that's at this street, but there's another bus stop again that's still close. So the app, what you now do in the app is that, okay, if 10 people pick this particular bus stop and there's another bus stop, probably. Can you meet her? Okay, you guys, I'm coming. Sorry. So what that basically does is that they will now say, okay, the people that are in this bus stop and the people that are in this second bus stop, all of you, the app will now pick one bus stop. We'll combine everything and pick one bus stop and say, okay, you want to go to this particular bus stop, but there's another bus stop that's very close by, and it will combine everybody at once. So you can go to this one, everybody is still going to your same location. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so that's an example of a solution. I'm really sorry, I actually need to drop off now. So what I'll do is I'll share these notes with you. Please, we're on the same WhatsApp group. So I'll share these notes by Monday. So please just go through it and give me and ask any question. On next week, we'll cover sorry, let me check the many notes. We'll cover prototyping and testing. Yes, we'll cover prototyping. But an assignment you have is based on the ones we've discussed. The three, what are the three? Empathize, define, and ideate. Based on these three, come up with a problem, like define a problem, give me a user persona, right? Then ideate. So what I just want to see is just how are you able to think of the person's problems and what were the solutions you were bringing? Just document it. Think of a problem. Maybe you can be a personal problem. Okay, you yourself, what problem have you faced, right? Think about your behaviors. What are your goals? What are your pain points? What are your behaviors? then think about some solutions. Start thinking, okay, if I try this one, oh, there's this problem if I try this one. If I try this one, there's no right or wrong answer. Just I want to see your design thinking mindset. So that's the assignment for next week. I'm really sorry, but time is already
You
past
said
tense
you
and-
dropped the notes in the WhatsApp group.
Yes, I'll drop them on Monday. I'll send 2 notes. I just need to refine them now. I'll send them on Monday. Yeah. So that brings us to the end of today's class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So if you have any questions at all, just ask me on the WhatsApp group and I'll get back to you. That's after Monday when I drop the note, just ask me and I'll reply you. So yeah, thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. Bye.